Okay. And the wee red lights on. Happy days. Welcome to the Cans Across the World podcast. This is episode 88 on the first fucking podcast of 2021 and the first time of Curse. uh, happy to be joined by Darren Matthews today. Very welcome, sir. What is the correct?
5 seconds in and you swore already. Nice one.
Got to get that explicit rating early, you know. I gotta.
Absolutely. We're up to a 12A already. I'm good, man. I'm looking forward to this beer. In the efforts of social distancing, I headed over to Sean's today and dropped him off a wee bag of beer. Was that an essential journey? You fucking bet it was.
Absolutely. Key worker right there, like. I'm sure, man.
Yeah. I did dry January, never again. So yeah.
Oh jeez, I will get into that. Okay, that madness. But
absolutely.
First and foremost, then the beer is. Thanks very much, by the way. It's
You're welcome.
Pan IPA NI IPAni, Pan IPAni, double wheat IPA.
Yes.
Rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's from Poland.
Poland. I looked up a wee bit about the brewery as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this brewery was started in a kitchen in Tarnow, where three boys from primary school took their first steps at home brewing. So 3 home brewers started a brewery, as you do, and now they've grown up to 16 people and continue to make great beer. Interestingly enough,
that's great. Like,
there's the very last line has not aged well, and it's still there. Like if you want to go look at it as well. So it says, truly beer making is like a virus. Once it's in your bloodstream, there's no getting it out. Well done, lads.
Oh, nobody's reviewed that site in a wee while. Jeez.
Yeah, it must be because it's referencing like 2017 is the last date, so I'm assuming that's the last time they updated their mission statement.
Yeah.
So there you go. Nice wee Easter egg of Corona.
I'm just watching as well. I don't know if you had a wee look at the bottle, but there's a full essay. You know the way when you read normally when you guys do it, or when you do an episode and you read the thing where it's like a malty fruity finish. This has got like an essay about why the guy made the beer on the side of it.
Yeah.
So, do you want to have a go at it, or I? Because I know from my previous attempts on this podcast, for some reason, whenever one of us tries to read a can or any information, we completely forget how to read.
Yeah, that's it. I'll give it a go. We'll double
give it a go.
Well, I will tire it. Cans after dark. So I'm going to brew a strong beer because this is what I enjoy drinking. I want it to be drinkable, so I'm going to add a lot of wheat and oat. It always works. I'm going to use my favorite American hops, which have a fascinating aroma and taste. When I'm in doubt, I always use some more hops, and this time is no different. I will add Galaxy, a totally stunning Australian variety. Do you want to go on ahead?
Yeah, Sean's like, oh, balls to this. I quit. This beer will be rather on the sweet side with some bitterness, only for balance. Isn't balance something we're all after? Oh, gee, this beer's philosophical. Jesus Christ. The ultimate goal here is for all the pieces to fit together into one beautiful whole, a full-bodied beer with a captivating tropical aroma, full body, and a bitterness on a just right, in quotation marks, level. Oh, and one more thing. The hoppy fruitiness is brought to the forefront. Do you remember it from the single Pan IPA NI? So I think it's Pan IPAni, but they've obviously stuck IPA in the old title for a bit of wordplay. And then this is brilliant because underneath all of that, it just says, our brewer talks too much. How about you just try the beer now? You don't have to tell me twice, boys. Hold on, I'll see if I can do this because I know you've poured yours. Okay, we go. There we go.
Oh, that sounded great.
I'm going to go straight from the bottle tonight, like so.
So this is 7.0 ABV, and it's comes in a 330ml bottle as well. And as I said, it's from Poland. So I've poured it already, and it's got this nice haze to it, and it looks class. Like I poured it probably about 5 minutes ago, and it's still got this lovely head on it. And
it's a big melty ice cream of a thing, isn't it? It's great.
yeah, it looks amazing.
It looks like you've poured Fanta in on top of a bit of vanilla ice cream.
That's it, like, and it's got a nice cling as well, which is pretty cool. Like.
I don't know what you get because I'm going bottle, but as you have glass. Even out of the bottle, it smells amazing.
Yeah,
it's a big fruit bowl of stuff. Like, it's gorgeous. You go first, and I'll chat, so we're not doing dead air. It's great. One of the cool things on the bottle is just a little red stripe down the side of the label. It just says "We brew what we like," which is a great. If you don't like it, fuck off.
Do we want?
Yeah.
See that bottle though? Like, I might actually leave that bottle just in the bathroom to read, like, instead of a book.
There's an essay on it. I know the label's really trippy as well. It's like a stained glass window, but full of joy.
But on the nose, then I've already taken a sip and everything. So on the nose, retrospectively, it's quite orangey, and like there's a nice like bitterness to it, almost in the nose as well. It's very clean. But the taste, it's very smooth as well.
Yeah, I mean, for number one, for a 7%er, and then also because it's a wheat beer as well, they've added in, I mean, your normal ingredients list of your water, barley malt, wheat malt, and then they've gone wheat flakes and oat flakes. So, and then what did he say? There's 3 different types of hops in this, so it's a pretty complex. It's a witch's brew, like.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot going on there. Let's have a wee look at like the side as well.
It even looks great in the bottle as well. It's just that you can see, it's really opaque. There's no seeing through it. It's not like a clear lager. Like, there's a lot of fucking mist happening in there. It's great. Like,
the artwork's pure gorgeous as well. Like, that's really, really nice.
Very cool, yeah. Double IPA, so it doubles up. It's like the 2 sides of the colors and shit. So it's really nice. Brower Lutney, I think it's Trzech Kumpli. I don't speak any Polish, so apart from, I think it's Cześć is either thank you or like hello. That's what I remember from being there at a wedding. Although when I was there, I was just drinking vodka. I wasn't even into the beers. But I'm trying to think of Polish beer. What's a mass production Polish beer? Not red. What do you call the one with the white label and red? No, Amstel's from Amsterdam. That's
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, hang on. This is gonna wreck me because it's let me see. This is the joys of being able to do this on the computer.
Let's see. Duvel?
No, Duvel would be Belgian, right?
Belgian. That's a Belgian blonde.
Yeah, it's called. Is it?
Oh, Tyskie.
Tyskie. I couldn't remember how to say it.
That's an absolute weapon. That is.
Yeah, it is truly a weapon. It's a deceptive lager, I would call that one.
Oh, for sure. Like, let me see. Yeah, so they look like really nice guys as well. Like, they look like a bunch of guys that you would just like hang out with, and they'd be full of wee stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just having a wee look at their website here.
No problem. No, I initially got this beer in one of my beer subscriptions, and I thought you would enjoy it. So I had a couple of sort of bonus points to cash in with my subscriber. So I cashed everything in at one go. So I got a free box, and then I got like a special offer of like 24 beers. So I just kind of cleaned them out. It was great. Yeah. And I got a few of these. So some of them I got 3, or I got 2 of, and a few I got 4 of. So the other beers that I've given you for later episodes they're all 3s and 4s. Because the only reason I gave you the ones that were 3s and 4s is because you probably can't be trusted, and you'll drink those before you record. So I can give you an hour one and give off to you.
That's I really can't. Like, I actually bought the beer that I drank for this, the beer that I bought for this podcast. I actually drank it last week.
Amazing.
Pure class. I was like, right, here's a nice beer. I'm gonna just keep it, and it's gonna be grand. But couldn't help myself. You know,
this is your first one back. So what? I suppose when you ask for questions, my question is, what made you decide to take January off? Like, I wasn't boozing January, but what was the crack? You just weren't up for
kind of
tasting delicious.
Yeah, I wasn't up for chatting. I think there was a lot going on in January, just in my personal life and stuff. So it was just a wee bit. I don't want to just do a podcast for the sake of it, and then I'll be going, oh, this week kind of sucked. The X amount of things happened. So it just kind of took a bit of a chill in January, and then it was my birthday as well. So I had an entire week of just banter for my birthday. So yeah, it's a good time to come back and just start doing podcasts again.
That's great. Well, welcome back. I hope the
Yeah.
little the little beer bag that I dropped over to your house will sustain you for at least a wee while. So
I was trying my best to stay off it.
yeah.
Just for the episodes. But you were doing dry January as well.
Yes.
How'd you find it?
Tougher than I thought because I've totally forgot one of my beer deliveries arrived, but it arrived on like the 8th of January. January was weird, okay? So it should have been easy because I was sick for 2 weeks. I got COVID. So I should have been okay. But then as soon as I was feeling better, and the beer was in the fridge chilling. And every time I opened the fridge to make a cup of tea, it was pure stirring me out. Yeah, it was
terrible.
It was really weird. Dry January. Do you know what I mean? You do like no crack November. I understand. Sometimes people need a wee break from drinking, and I do too. I think I enjoy drinking more when I don't do it to excess. When like what we're doing here now, which is really appreciating a beer.
Yeah,
I like doing that. So even though I've got a heap of beer in the house, I'll not have more than 2 a night. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I always
And
find.
as I said to you earlier on when I was chatting to you, I had a blonde the other night, which was like drinking 4 beers. So
you just wake up like, oh,
yeah, this is my house.
Yeah. This is my beautiful.
Yeah, just a lovely 8% Belgian blonde, and I don't know what was going on. So
I was like, I think I'll go out for a drive here. It's a good driving beer.
Can I say as well with this beer, because I mean I know this is a 7%er. Is this really easy for a 7? I'm always amazed when I find an easy drinking like a big percentage.
Yeah, it's so like it's just making my mouth water. It's so like tropical and fruity. It's actually they actually have another beer like this as well. I actually had it at your house. It is just I think it's just called IPAni IPA. It's the one with like just the green label on the front.
This is the advanced version, is it?
Yeah, this is like their sort of imperialized version of it. So it's like just a wee bit stronger. But it's still like super drinkable. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's good. That could be, I think that could be a sneaky one. That's one of those ones where you're like, I'll have a couple of bottles, but about 3 or 4 of those, and you'd be like, oh shit.
It's like, oh, I'll have 3 of these for pre-drinks here, and then head out to the bar. Like, oh, taxi driver won't even let you in the taxi outside your house.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
I know. Probably that's one of the only good things about like pubs not being open is that we can't. You're already in that shape when you're in the house. You don't need to be in that shape and then try and get home.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly, everybody. Okay, it's weird all the time. Like, so just keep an eye on your booze, and you should be sweet.
Yeah, I think it's why I wanted a wee break as well, because like December was a bit heavy, I think, for us all. So it's nice to have a wee breather as well.
As it does tend to be.
Yeah, there's so much on. It's just like, just sort of like people saying to you, like, because we had that wee breather before, like, they locked down again for after Christmas.
Yeah.
So people were kind of going out to the bars and all this kind of stuff, and you're just like, mate, like, how was our lockdown last week? How's our lockdown next week? But you know, it doesn't make sense.
But like, just in the middle, we're going to make sure we really fuck it for ourselves, because they're afraid there's going to be rats in the streets if you can't go to your ma's for spuds at Christmas.
I know. That's ridiculous. Oh,
yeah.
It's a class crack though.
It was mad anyway, because I didn't the week off, as it were, I was just working, and then when I had a day off, I didn't leave the house. I was still in lockdown mode. I was like, I'm not gonna let myself relax here for a chat, because I want to go to my mum's for my Christmas dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was the whole thing about going to my ma's for Christmas dinner, and then coming straight back to Belfast. Going back to work a few days later. And then a week later, getting sick. So I was shitting myself that I had maybe picked it up at Christmas dinner, but I hadn't, because no one else in my family got sick.
Yeah,
and I was on my arse for 2 weeks. It was grim. But it did make dry January a bit easier. But do you know what though? I kind of get into a point where I was still still kicking about. Once I got feeling a bit better, I was able to go out and walk the dogs and all that sort of stuff. And then actually having another beer, I think I waited till about February 2nd. I wasn't like looking at the clock at midnight on the last day of January going, I'm gonna fucking destroy that fridge. You know what I mean? So that's good. I think I've taught myself enough of a easy tiger thing.
Yeah, you just like your partner's just like, oh, I'm gonna stay at my mum's for a bit. Oh shit, what did I do? It's like, oh, the fridge is empty.
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing worse than a blackout, which thankfully I haven't done for many years, but there's been a few times where there's been far too much drink for one man to drink, and by fuck, I've drank it. So you wake up in your bathroom. What the fuck?
I actually had one in I think it was July, where like I got pure nostalgic. It's like I used to drink Western Gold at the house parties all the time back in the day because it's cheap. But you can pick up a bottle for 12 quid or something like that in Lidl. Shout out Lidl.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I went on like I think it was like July or something like that, but drank the whole bottle and woke up the next morning. It's just like, holy shit. Like
what have I done?
Like I was sleeping in the spare room beside my drums. Like I was just like, what? Like what? Like it was just terrifying because like you don't know how you got there or why you didn't just go to bed.
It's fucked up whenever you wake up in your own spare room and you're like, I live alone. Why am I in my spare room?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like. And like every door in the house was left open, but the dog was still downstairs. It's like I'm having nothing to do with that. Like, not going near him.
Yeah, in case he's sick on himself. But no, I mean, what else has been going on? Like you haven't broadcasted in quite a while, so normally kind of weird because normally you tune into the Cans podcast and you get a lovely beer review of the deliciousness that we're having. Do you know what's great as well? Real easy. I'm loving this. Just it's such a fucking it's such a lighter beer than it's being advertised. But for the 7, I know I'm going to finish it and I'm going to feel it. You know that kind of way.
Yeah, it's got notions about itself. Like it's just like, oh, like I'm really tasty. Come on in, the water's fine. And you get in, there's a shark in there. But
three beers in, you're ringing a Coke dealer. You don't even do Coke. What's going on?
Oh, it's crazy. Like, but speaking of, because we're actually doing obviously bottles, got a question in from a guy called Johnny Scimitar, you call him. There's a band from Belfast, great thrash metal band called Scimitar. So he's asking us, can you do a bottles episode on April Fool's Day? So like maybe bottles across the world. But
bottles across the kitchen table.
Yeah, that'd be killer. Like.
I'm up for that. If you want some good news, like our stout episode, they're all bottles as far as I remember. So,
oh yes,
yeah, well, absolutely, because that's that. I mean, stouts I think should be poured. You know what I mean? So if it's bottled, it should be a nice presentation instead of stouts a weird one just to drink out of a can like you're at a fucking house party. It needs a glass.
That's it.
So, yeah, I'm up for doing the bottles episode as well. I have a couple of bottles here. Like do you know what? I really do appreciate, especially with craft breweries, the classic old style brown bottle. I really like them.
It's lovely.
Very, very retro drinking, isn't it? Like,
they're absolutely gorgeous. Like, I was going to say, just speaking of stouts at house parties as well. Like, why is it always one can of Guinness and like 3 cans of Murphy's? Like, like all the time. It's like you get the house party. It's like, oh, I don't have any beer here. It's like, why did you invite everybody back? Like, the offies are closed. But it's always these assorted cans of stout that are left about now.
Where you're like, you think I'm here for your fucking company? You told me you'd beer.
I thought we were drinking. What's happening? Yeah. But I think that'd be a good shout. Then do the stouts for April Fool's Day, the bottled ones.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking once I read that question earlier, I was thinking I could come out as a flat earther on the it's like cans across the flat earth. And I might make this wee advertised like a wee video and all. And just like really get into it. I'll wear a wee sit and maybe have like a green screen of like me pointing out the evidence of flat Earth.
Cans across the plateau.
Yeah, that's it. We'll do that.
Yeah. Can I say as well, one of the things about the old flat Earth, whenever they're like, when people said, well, what about Australia?
Aye.
And flat earthers go, Australia's not real. They're all actors. When you go to fly to Australia, you don't fly to Australia. And I was like, if that's true, I spent a few years living in my actual own version of the Truman Show, which is fucking class.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Like.
If that was all set up just to convince me this landmass exists that doesn't, sweet.
That's a fantastic production. Like,
yeah. But what I want to know is where am I then if I'm not in Australia? Like, I'm certain that beach that I was at is not in fucking Wexford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll never get that. Like,
I like one of my favorite like conspiracy theories is Belgium isn't real. So like there's actually like a legitimate like factual double bunny air quotes, but it's about the fact that Belgium was set up as a separate state to try out laws in and stuff like this. That's wildly. What? Yeah, and then
okay. So what are we saying? Are we saying Belgium no longer exists, or it never existed and has been sort of put into history as? Because obviously Belgians are like there's famous things in Belgium. So how does it not exist? Well, where are those things then?
But apparently it was created to be like the epicenter of like laws and stuff, and for trying out new laws, or like it was created to be like a model society sort of thing.
Okay, well, anybody with any knowledge of any world history will know that whenever the Belgians had colonies in Africa, they weren't trying out any fucking human rights laws, put it that way.
Yeah, they certainly weren't. They?
Yeah, while they make great beers, they were also a right pack of bastards. So
yeah.
if they're getting off with that by saying, "Oh, we don't really exist, don't worry about it," you're like, "Fuck off."
Oh, we're not real. Or like that's like Irish people saying, "Oh, we're not racist. It's just part of our culture." They're like,
yeah,
still racism, by.
yeah. I always have the joke that I always say that Irish people aren't racist. We're ignorant. We're too stupid to be properly racist.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, your man looks funny. He's not from here. Right, wait, what county is he from? You're like, no, he's literally not from this. Oh, never mind.
I remember back in the day. It's like the classic was, "Oh, you need to watch them boys." Like, who? You're looking at like an EC, an Indian guy in like the distance or something. You're like, "Oh Jesus!" Like,
yeah,
small town syndrome. Like,
yeah, like you grow up with Strabane, watch them boys, and you're like, people from Donegal. What am I looking for here?
Yeah, I was like, what? I'm like such a cultural enigma that I've seen more people that aren't like me.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Like crazy, like.
Oh man, but what beer wise, how are you getting on? Because you're out of the glass. What's as much of a difference? Like I could drink this either way because there's a lovely on the nose out of the bottle even.
Yeah,
obviously that's a testament to how strong the bloody thing is. Like so.
I actually love it. The glass amusing as well.
Would it please the court to know that I have another wee bottle of downstairs for you if you enjoyed that one?
Oh, it would fucking thrill the court, like. That's to be said. Like the judge will be having the best crack.
Yeah, I figured the last beer box I got, we should probably spread the wealth because I got a few of them free, so we might as well. You can put them to good use more so than just drinking them in a park.
Yeah. I'm also writing about them.
Yeah, or me shit-faced in my back garden going, I wish my friends could come over and do this with me.
Aye, hopefully soon.
Oh, hope is all we have, like, and beer. At least we have beer.
That's it. Thingy, what was I going to say? Were you watching Cecil Hotel? It's been on my mind since.
I haven't finished it. I'm about 3 or 4 episodes into it. The only thing I've noticed is that fair play to Netflix for absolutely drawing out everything that could be made. And like I've seen Netflix documentaries that are an hour and a half long and they're brilliant.
Aye.
There's no call for a series out of some of the things they make.
It's kind of like trying to draw 3 films out of the one book that was only like 80 pages. Peter Jackson.
The Hobbit lads. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was about to say Peter Kay. Imagine Peter Kay wrote the Hobbit. Like, that'd be
To be
terrible.
fair, they're fairly northern in the like they're very northern English, apart from Jimmy Nesbitt, who for no apparent reason in that movie just still sounds like he's from Coleraine.
He's brilliant. Like,
Yeah, everybody else is very north of England, kind of the way they talk. The dwarves, the miners, they're supposed to sound like that, very very grand and Shakespearean. And then Jimmy Nesbitt,
yeah, he just does what he wants that way.
yeah, we're heading to the mountains, sir. You coming?
Good class. But
Yeah.
no, I've been obsessed with it. I watched it in real time. Like back in the day, just I think it was 2013 or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Back in. But I remember like following on the news and stuff like this and all the conspiracy theories about it, and just being absolutely mind blown. I was like, fucking hell, it's so creepy. And then all your wee detectives and all this. I love like what was the word they used for them? Like there's an actual word because I had to look it up because I never heard the word before.
Oh, like the online detectives, those people.
Yeah,
Oh shit, what is it? I think I know what you're on about, but I can't remember the word for it.
I cause like it's the equivalent of a boy drinking in the bar and being a referee, like shouting at the TV
Yeah.
advice.
There
But,
is there is a term they use it because I've only watched like episode 3 or 4. I watched it and there is the term they use. Is it cyber sleuth or something like that?
yeah, web sleuth.
Web
So-
sleuth, yes.
Yeah. Fair play.
Yeah,
Arm-
those people
armchair.
because and then it's all the armchair digest, and then there's all the kind of theories and obviously anybody with a YouTube channel or people that are into murder mystery, they have their own kind of thing. So they're all, well, what about this? So it becomes a kind of like a real clickbait article, which is, well, maybe this is what happened in our, how about this? And you're just like, right, that's a theory, that's grand, but now you've got 200 theories and they just get more batshit as it goes on.
Yeah, it
You
gets
have
a bit,
like true crime podcasts and all that stuff as well.
yeah, it gets a bit wild. Because like all the stuff they were saying, but obviously I'll not spoil it for you or anybody listening that hasn't seen it. It is a fantastic watch, even though when you like sort of the outcome and stuff, like all the stuff that people were saying, it's just put together in such an interesting way. It's just a great watch, like.
Yeah,
Class.
and at the ending, it's Bobby Ewing in the shower because it's all been a dream. No, that's Dallas. I'm thinking of Dallas. That's a different show. Yeah.
But there you go.
If you're under the age of 30, you probably have no idea what that joke reference was. I'm sorry.
That's I always get that all the time. It's like you reference like it's like remember Dan TV, like Dustin
Yes.
and Saki and all this.
Zig and
It's
Zag.
like Zig and Zag and all, but you reference all them to like people in Belfast who don't have access to RT and stuff, I guess. So wouldn't even know.
That blew my mind when I moved to Belfast. I was like, it's an RTE. And they're like, oh, we can't get that. I'm like, you can't, what? How can you not get RTE? And then I remembered growing up at the border, you need a separate aerial. We had 2 aerials on the house.
That's right.
And even more of a laugh in Bestwick, where I'm from. So we could watch the All Ireland finals and stuff on RTE. There was another wee village up the road from us called Camla, and they couldn't get RTE because there was a massive army base on top of the mountain that overlooked the village. So it like blocked their signal. They couldn't get RTE. So people from Camla would like go down to Bestwick to their family members and mates to watch the football or go to the pubs in Newry when the All Ireland final was on because they're like, we don't have RTE. And I was like, lads, it's the 80s. There's only fucking 4 channels, and you're telling me you can't get the other 2? That's madness.
Oh, that's wildly. Oh, I remember
Yeah.
back in the day, like having the aerials and stuff. I remember like when it was time to replace the aerial, like it was always a great family day, like wasn't it? It's like your dad's up on the roof trying to jibber about, and you're like, no, nothing yet there. Keep jiggling it. Oh, there's a bit of picture.
Yeah.
It's like the static, you know. Oh, fucking classy.
I'm old enough to remember Channel 5 launching, or as it became better known, Late Night Thursday, A Bit of Dirt.
Yes, I remember like because I remember watching the countdown. I remember I had a wee countdown and all. You're just like, that's so exciting, and then it was like It's not really that exciting, but then you find out about the dirty films.
Yeah.
Claire.
Let me get this right. March 30th, 1997, the new terrestrial TV channel began broadcasting at 6 p.m. And then the then five-piece group, at the height of their chart fame, welcomed Channel 5 to the world with an exclusive song. Channel 5 was launched by the Spice Girls. I totally forgot about that. Holy
That's
shit.
insane.
Yeah. That's mental. So it was, and then basically it became, on a Thursday night, it became softcore porn after about 10 o'clock.
Holy shit, yeah, I remember this. He used to be class, but I used to get caught all the time because like not the content, but just having my TV on. Because like I remember like your wee portable used to make this
14-inch TV, boy.
Yeah. But remember it used to make this like wee white noise, kind of like kind of noise that you could hear from outside your door.
Yeah.
So we could hear that, and like I used to get caught all the time, just like, oh, is your TV on in there? It's like, fuck's sake, you can hear it.
We had the thing in our house because my house I grew up in was an old council house, so they had at the top of your door, it wasn't a solid room like my house now. There was a wee glass panel, so you could see when there was a light on in each room.
Oh yeah.
So if my TV was on, my folks could see that I was watching TV, and you get the door open and you get that, turn it off the fuck, you've school tomorrow.
That's right. I remember that there too. The wee
here
glass
as
panel.
well. See young people, if you're listening to this today, parents in the 80s and 90s did not give a fuck about your feelings.
No.
The door would just fling open, turn it off the fuck, and then they'd leave.
Fuck you then. Like,
yeah. Everything was so abrasive.
Yeah, that was wild. Back in the day, class.
Because I got a portable TV from a room. But sure, I grew up in like a family of 4 boys in a 3-bedroom house, so I had to share a room. Like, so, nights when you were able to watch the Dirt on Channel 5 were few and far between, and Channel 5 was like a different. I'm pretty sure whenever we got it, it was like a different, not a different aerial, but a different signal, so I could get all the other channels fine. I couldn't get Channel 5 because we had got our house wired that there was an aerial port in each room, so everyone had was able to have a TV. Oh. We were middle class by poor people standards, you know what I
mean? Yeah, that makes sense.
People were like, hang on, your ma and dad have a job, yeah. And you have a driveway. Well, it's because we're at the end of the street. You have a fucking driveway. I was like, I know, not to show off. It's not tarmac, and it definitely looks like a building site, but yeah, we've got a driveway, that's all I'm saying.
Pretty fancy there.
Yeah. And yes, my dad did make the gates himself. I'll tell you a cracker story as well. My dad was a welder, and he made bunk beds for me and my brother. He was like, right, you know, everyone's getting bunk beds. So he bought 2 of the boys bunk beds, and then my dad was like, fucking ban stuff, I'll make them. And I was like, all right, because he's from a farm, so he's a tight bastard, won't spend money. Gets a load of fucking wrought iron, basically, just looks on the model of a bunk bed, wires, you know, measures out, because I was in the box room, so it was like from the chimney breast to the window, we'll fit a bunk bed in there. I was like, it's a good thing we're all under 5 feet tall, because these bunk beds are tiny. Big man fucking welds them up together. We get them made, get them upstairs, get them into the, you know, they're made in such a way they come apart and then slot in. We get them built. My brother says to me, he's 5 years older. He was like, or 4 years older. My brother shared with. He was like, I'm taking the bottom bunk, because obviously I think as a young person, I'll be in the top bunk. But my dad never made a ladder, so I had to Spider-Man up the back of the bed to get in. Jesus. And then we realized as well that he hadn't like taken proper measurements for anything. You know, there was no railing to stop me falling out. So what he did was he just kind of did a wee arch that I would, if I rolled over to fall out, I'd bang my head and it would wake me up so I wouldn't fall out. But whenever we put the mattress in, so the bar was this high so the bed's there, the bar's this high. When we put the mattress in, he hadn't accounted for the height of the mattress. So I was able to roll over the top of the fucking guard that was supposed to stop. I fell out of that bed 2 or 3 times, I swear to God.
Jeez, that's wild. I'd imagine like his next thing would have been put broken glass on the floor so you don't want to fall on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll know.
See, to this day, see if I sleep in a double bed. I didn't get a double bed for years and years, right? Because obviously this is how your pre-programming and your fucking childhood trauma works. If I'm sleeping in a double bed, I don't move. I don't roll around the bed. See, once I fall asleep in a position, I wake up in that position. Because somewhere in my subconscious, it's like, if you roll over, you'll fall 7 feet to the floor.
Classy.
Oh, imagine the fun I had getting into that when I started drinking when I was 17 as well. Jesus Christ.
wild. I used to have because I think I moved out just after my 18th birthday, but in the house I had the classic fucking nerd bed that was like a computer desk underneath, wee tiny sofa thing, and then bed up the top. But see, climbing into that when you've been drinking like a hefty night of 5 Heineken, going home steaming. But it was wild, like it was crazy. Do you know my Sam Hanks?
No, definitely not. Roll on a nice bed I can get into, but yeah, no, because people are just like, oh, you've got a double bed, do you sleep in the middle? I'm just like, no. And even when I'm drunk, I sleep like the dead because it's in my head. If you roll off this thing, you're gonna fucking fall.
That's wild.
I do remember one of the times I fell out of the bed as well. We used to just have because obviously it was me and 3 brothers, so there was just it wasn't even a drawer that fitted into the beds my dad made. It was just like a loose drawer that was always full of socks, just where everyone's socks were in there because everyone's kind of about the same fucking height. There's like 10 years between us all, but everybody's shit all fits each other. So it's like, it's in there. It's the thing my mom did. And we pretty much, I remember my brother had left the drawer slightly out. So I fell out of the bed, hit the side of the drawer, and woke up with this fucking, not a gash. I wasn't bleeding, but I just had like a lump on my head. I was like, did I headbutt? Did I fucking swanton bomb off the top of this bed and fucking hit this thing?
Oh, fuck's sake.
I'm really starting to believe that I might be a stand-up comedian because I can't afford therapy. This is the thing.
I think that's what it is. That's the classic in it. It's like I remember I was listening to you and what do you call your man? Connor Keys.
Yeah.
He was on your podcast last week there, but people expect the comedian to be the funniest guy in the room, but like it's generally he's watching everybody else because he's pure depressed and trying to think of stuff.
Well, exactly. People are just like, "Oh, you must be the life and soul of the party," and you're like, "No, I'm usually like, I'm the guy who's like hanging out, being like trying to figure out where the music's coming from to be like, I'm gonna put on some tunes I think people like. It's my inner entertainer. I want to do that, but I'm sure you know another topic. Music at a house party is a fucking nightmare.
Oh, it's terrible. I remember.
Can I suggest after my revolution when I take power, right, as ruler of the world, there's a list of people that are going against the wall, right? Number one of them at house parties. If somebody picks a tune and you don't like the song, let the song end and see somebody that skips something before like the guitar solo or the middle 8, instant death, kneecapping in the backyard.
That's just fucking there was a time that happened in a pub and it was just when IPAni's reopened under a different like it was the people from Filthy's bought it. Yeah. And the very moment I realized that this isn't IPAni's anymore, Oblivion by Mastodon came on. My favorite Mastodon song, fucking great song. Switched over like just about 15 seconds into it, and I was like, oh, it was like Friday night as well. So yeah, it's not like, middle of the week, let's play Stone Roses, fucking just lie sleep in the corner sort of thing. It's Friday night, like just let the tunes go. But they turned it over and I was like, just sitting there, I was like, yes, so a wee drink, I was like, this isn't my bar anymore. So sad.
If I can ask, do you remember what it was changed over to?
Because it became 5 points. Oh Jesus, what I can't remember what
No. I know it went from Annie's to the bar with no name, and then it became the 5 points.
Bar with no name, that was it.
Yeah, the bar with no crack.
No crack at all.
Yeah. What I was wondering about was if they changed the song, if it wasn't a song that you remember, no matter how outraged you were, it obviously wasn't a fucking better song than the one that was on before.
Yeah, that's it. It was a terrible song too. I can't even remember what it was. Because I was thinking, all right, that song's shite. I think it was like it might have been Kasabian or something. I remember it being like a bland indie song. So that was that. But it was so grim. But speaking of going back to bars and stuff, I actually seen this wee article today, so maybe get on the beer news.
Oh yeah, sorry, I know you have a whole fucking way this podcast works. Apologies, I'm just coming up with random traumas there. I haven't had a drink in a while. I'm all like, my dad never loved me.
I was like, oh, there was this time the priest Like, whoa.
Yeah, do the beer news, fuck's sake.
But this is the news that most UK pubs can't reopen under the April beer garden plan. So they're saying basically you have to have like an outdoor area so you can do social distancing and all this kind of stuff. But a study by the British Beer and Pub Association says that 29,000 pubs, so that's about 60% of the pubs, can't open because they don't have a beer garden, pretty much.
Yeah, which is very annoying. So that's only helping out a small portion of pubs, like, but sure.
Yeah, because that's pretty much everybody. Like, you could go to probably like Northern Lights and Sunflower and stuff in Belfast, and Errigal and
yeah,
stuff. But
well, they had. I'm trying to think of whenever the last was able to open. I went down and met Mick Conlon, from the fantastically talented violinist from the String Ninjas. I met him in the Sunflower. The Sunflower actually did the socially distance really well. Number one, they've got great craft beers. Number two, they were very safe and clever. Number three, I run a comedy club there, so Christ Almighty, let us open it again.
Yeah,
yeah, they did it really well when you couldn't go in, and they had the social distance thing absolutely nailed down. I didn't see any reason why they weren't able to continue to trade. Where no matter how strict that, when they kept moving the goalposts before they just went close the pubs, that was one of the bars that was doing it really well. So
yeah, like they were incredible. Like they had obviously all your social distancing, all that kind of nonsense. Yeah. Your sanitizer at the tables, wear your mask when you're fucking walking about and all. The one-way system for the toilets, even extra toilets. So they separated the ladies and the guys.
Yeah.
So then you could like do the proper one-way system. Even the pizza area had like they put like this big plastic sort of sheet over it.
Yeah, I saw that because we were down there, and like whenever they had the thing where you had to buy food with your beer, the guys had the pizzas on. Whenever they had the thing where you had to be socially distanced, apart from people that you're in your bubble or in your group, they had that. They had dividers among all the tables. There was only so many people allowed in the courtyard at the time. It was great. I felt bad for them because I know this might be biased because I work with them and they're actually just lovely people. As a craft beer podcast, their selection of beers is usually fucking bang on.
Oh, they're ridiculously good. Like, and the staff are always pure knowledgeable as well.
Yes.
Like they're well clued in. They're actually like fans and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I think like Sunflower's one of the bars that like have looked after their staff the best as well.
Yeah, they're really good. I think they organized being able to pay people on before furlough was even announced. I don't quote me on that, but I do remember chatting to one of them and they were just like, I were well looked after. And they basically, because obviously the stock would have fucking went off on the shelf, they organized a wee offie basically and sold everything, below pub price, and were able to do like beer carryouts for people, which was class. They were open for, like a certain amount of time during the day, and they were doing little beer packs for people because they didn't want their stock going off, which I totally understand. They're an independent pub. Pedro that owns it, and the American bar as well down in Sailortown. Both just great pubs.
Yeah,
it's really hard to explain to people maybe not from here the importance of a good pub.
Aye.
Not a bar, not a trendy place to go. A fucking pub.
Aye.
So important to beer nerds and people who just. And it was the real weird, wacky. It was really cool, open place. Lots of artists, lots of poets, musicians. You know what I mean? It's totally fucking LGBT friendly. They're if you want a pint, come on in. That's the great thing about a place like that. And there's so many fucking great wee pubs, and I'm looking forward to them getting back. Nightclubs and all can fuck off, but if we can get a pub back, I'll be delighted.
It'd be amazing. Like, because I remember like going in there and like there've been the nights where there's like the wee trad music. I think it's the guys that do Emerald Amada.
Yes.
What are they called? Realta or something like that? I can't remember what their wee trad name is, but they're pretty incredible as well. Just hearing the music going in the corner and stuff, it was fucking great. Like,
yeah,
get nostalgic.
No, well, here, what have you got beer news? Sorry, I keep interrupting you with great stories because I feel like I haven't fucking listened to you do a podcast, so I'm just up a crack here, like so.
No, I love it, like, because it just makes me think of we mentioned a great pub. I'd remember like the nights out in Strabane. You've been to Dicey's in Strabane.
Have indeed. DJ in Dicey's, did comedy in Dicey's. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely love it. Like it's just class. Always the best staff, and Hen, the manager, like he's got all the time in the world for everybody. Except if you slabber about Liverpool. He's, you're right in your ear. But
he's a man of his of principle. That's okay.
he is
Did his
indeed.
thing.
But yeah, it's absolutely top class bar. Like absolutely love it. So hopefully we'll get down there soon. Good crack. Just big shout out to Dicey's.
We'll go on the drink, wake up in your ma's garden, and be good times.
That's it. Like plenty of space in there as well for social distances. Yeah, you know
Absolutely.
me. But
Yeah.
Let me have a wee drink of this beer before I...
Yeah, here, do the beer news, because this is going down far too easy. Like I might see if I have an apple in the fridge and go get it.
So next one then, there's been a large-scale brewery discovered in Egypt, and they reckon it's the oldest beer brewery in the world. So this is found in Abydos, somewhere in Egypt, and it's a brewery that dates back to just over 5,000 years, they reckon.
Right. Is this like one of those things where they find like a tablet from Mesopotamia and it's like the original recipe for beer? Is this kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the same vibe, so they found like 40 big pots and all that they reckon like were used to brew and ferment your beers and stuff. And it's 8 large areas to brew in as well. So that's some job, like. But they were a while for it, weren't they? They were all about the like turning the bread into beer and all this.
Yeah, quite cool. Things they were famous for: Cleopatra, the pyramids, putting honey in their tea, and making beer. Apparently, that's fucking cracker.
Pure class. Like, so they were saying that they reckon they were able to make 22,400 liters of beer at one time. So
that's not a small operation.
That's crazy. Like, that's that's wild. That's like Diageo of fucking Egypt or something. Like,
yeah, that's so weird as well, because obviously that's thousands of years ago. Because obviously Egypt as a modern country is the Muslim country where people don't drink, so you can get beer as a tourist. But because I went to Egypt when I was 21, you can get beer as a tourist, but it's in hotels and that kind of thing. So that's mad as well that they have one of the oldest breweries or the oldest recipes and all that stuff. It's I suppose if you go around to different places, beer's been around for thousands of years in different forms. Of different cultures have figured it out in different ways, different means. Like the Vikings made it like mead is made of honey, but it ferments and becomes booze, and you can make it yourself. That's one for your homebrew, man. Get the beehive in the backyard.
I would absolutely I would absolutely love that. Like,
yeah,
I remember like the guy, I was supposed to have him on the podcast before lockdown actually, but he makes like a lot of homebrewed stuff. He's called Kieran. He's an accordion player as well. You probably meet him sometime whenever bars are open. But he made this mead and called it the Mead Dalton. Because there's a band called the Mad Dalton I used to play bass in a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And he played a accordion in it and stuff like that as well. But he made this special mead just for one of the gigs that we were doing. And he called it the Mead Dalton. And it was 16%. And I was like, I'm drinking that after the gig. Like, I'm not touching it. But it was powerful stuff. Like, I thought I was going to go blind. It's crazy.
What 16%? Christ almighty. Did you have it after? Like, did you get stuck in proper, or did you just have a wee bit and end up pissed?
No, I had it after. I just ended up like just ending the night with it. I was just like, oh fucking hell. Thankfully I didn't drink this before. I wouldn't have been able to see the bass instead of never mind fucking hold it or play it.
Yeah, that's true as well. Really? Oh man, right. I'm gonna finish this beer because I've been doing my best because I've been talking too much, but also I'm just gonna smack this in because it's a great job.
Get her down here. There's also last bit of beer news, but a fun crack from Massey Ferguson tractor-inspired bottled beer raises money for FCN, which is the Farming Community Network. Okay. So this is a new beer inspired by the Massey Ferguson classic tractor, the tractor of our youth.
The tractor that is still in my uncle's farm, still has a red Massey.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's all the articles allowed me to read because it's on the Farmers Guardian website. I didn't know there was a separate Guardian just for farmers. That's pretty cool.
I was gonna say the only thing I know about farmers is that there's a special edition of the newsletter for them on a Thursday, but that's
Oh, is it true that you feed your cows other bits of cow?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We all know how that turned out. The maddest cows ever.
Wild. Like I fucking what do you call it? Benedict's on a Thursday night.
Yeah. So we've been feeding the cows the brains of sheep. Why? Fucking feed them grass. They're cows.
Yeah.
You absolute mad bastards.
They eat everything. Like, fucking hell.
Yeah. Pretty mental, as it is honestly to say.
Oh, there you go. That's the beer news there as well. So must look into that Massey Ferguson beer a bit more, see what the crack is.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, your man Ferguson was from here, like, so
yeah,
keep it local. Drink local.
That's it. He's a red diesel instead of the other stuff.
Absolutely, because if you have a tractor that's perfectly legal, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, I'll never forget that. Hey, diesel dipping at the border. Classic.
Oh yeah, pretty much. That's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are you thinking beer reviews? What do you reckon of this bad boy? Mine's gone, so I feel really bad because normally when we review, I try and have a wee sip at the end and go just remind myself.
I was trying my best, not to just down it.
I know that's good. This means it's a good beer. We've started well.
It's a fantastic sipper.
Yeah.
It's really light, as we said, and it's still got a wild cling to it as well. I'll stick this video up on YouTube as well for the crack so people can actually see that it's got that nice sweet cling to it. And it's just such a pleasant wee color. It's like nice and hazy. No sediment in the bottom. So like, as we were saying, like before the podcast as well, if you notice a wee bit of sediment on the bottom of your bottle, roll it. So like turn it on the side, roll it about just to mix it. And that'll get rid of that for you. But it's nice and hazy. There's a wee bitter aftertaste and stuff like that as well. It's a really, really refreshing drink. My mouth's still watering. Like I'm just
mine is too. Yeah.
yeah, just like I keep having to like swallow, like so I'm not just full of spit into the mic. But yeah, fuck, I love this. I would say straight up 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
We deal in points sometimes, but I give this a solid 4 out of 5. Not the best beer I've ever had, but I could definitely have a few. And then my brain will go, you've had 3 of them and they're 7%, so go eat something, you dickhead.
Come on here. You're taking the piss.
Yeah, pretty much.
What? That was some job. And just to round her up then, straight up 4 out of 5. That very gorgeous beer. That was the Pan IPAni or IPAni. IPAni. The actual like I'm gonna put the actual like title on there so you can actually read it and look it up yourself.
It's the double pan IPA or IPAni. Maybe do you know what? It's probably like really clever wordplay in Polish where it comes from, and we're just butchering a foreign language because we're shams.
Yeah, just pure ignorant. Yeah, and obviously that was
bringing us back that we're not racist. We're just stupid. Yeah. Like
there you go. Yeah,
the wee symbol is pure Freemasonry as well. It's very cool.
Yeah, we like getting into your conspiracies and stuff for the all CNI. But thanks very much for coming on. Just a quick plug for yourself then. You have I don't know how many podcasts now, but you've got Darren Matthews.
I've only two. I only help out on a few. But the 2 ones are Darren Matthews and Sometimes Friends, which is actually going great. I've got some brilliant guests coming up and I'm very happy about it. And then my weekly podcast with the very funny Jordan Robinson, Injury Time, which is one for the sports fans. So if you've got a weird sport you want to talk about, give us a shout and we'll do an episode on it.
Brilliant. And I was really enjoying that one with Connor Keys last week there as well. So yeah, looking forward to hear more. It should be a good crack.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, there's the Fellowship podcast as well. So shout out to them boys. always a good fucking podcast. Like I couldn't cope with the stuff they were saying last week on Sunday there. I'll not say it in this podcast, but go check them out. Fellowship Podcast, available on all the same places that you can find this podcast. And obviously, Jared, Maybe Productions as well. Check him out. His videos are on YouTube, and they're always not YouTube, Instagram.
He's probably on both.
We're doing it live. But yeah, he's probably all over the place as well. So Maybe Productions, check them out. Great videos. And check out Crazy Disco Stew as well. My brother in Cans. He does movie reviews, genre nerd stuff, and he also has a t-shirt company as well, Crazy Disco Tees. Is that everybody?
I think that's a big shout. Do you know what? You could have done these because you've taken time off. You could have done like a focus on each one each week.
Yeah.
Because you've been off for like 6 weeks, you're like, I better shout out all the boys at the same time.
Yeah, I was like, I'll catch up. But in future, I think I might just pre-record that bit for future.
and then drop it in.
Yeah.
But it's a really good take. Instead of you just going, did I talk about all my friends? It's it'd be a real folks. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please check out my other friends and like brothers and getting shit faced.
But yeah, as usual, thanks very much. It's a fucking pleasure to be back, and we'll be back every single Friday from now until I can't be arsed again.
until I have to bring you over more fucking cans.
Yeah, this is it. So probably tomorrow. All right, we'll see you again next week. Thanks a million. Have a great weekend and life. Until next week.
See you later on. Okay. Thanks for having me.